Hi. So this wine is a 2022 Aligote from California. And it's produced and bottled by Jolie-Laude, which means ugly pretty in French. It's meant to have that feeling of like, oh, even though it's ugly, it's beautiful, beautiful, ugly. It's a very endearing term. And they only produce, I think it's like 200 bottles a year. And this one is a collaboration between 2 different vineyards in California. It's one of those moments where it's like, this is what I love about natural wine. Just in smelling it, it feels like I'm there. There's like, first of all, it's almost like, you know when you're in a river and the water feels silkier? Like there's ocean water that has like a lot of salt and you're like, wow, this feels clean, but I have salt in my body and it's wonderful, but like salty and clean and fierce. And this is more like you lie down in the water and it's like silky and flowing. Which, from what I have learned, is from malolactic fermentation, which creates some of that butteriness in wine, and it's in the word. Malic acid converting into lactic acid, I think. Wow, it's like there's a savoriness that comes through. Like you get this beautiful sweetness of, like if honeysuckle grew up and was like, I am Chanel. And there's like this floral essence at the beginning with like almost apricots and peaches, a little bit of that stone fruitiness, but it's still different. There's so many things, and then it just, when it flows through the top of my throat, there's this saltiness that reminds me of when you add salt to, things like stone fruit or something sweet, and it brings out these other components where they harmonize. Yeah, it's like umami current of, like if MSG was natural. But it's not, which could imply like mushrooms, because it's, that can be part of MSG. There's like powders of MSG derived from mushrooms, but it's so different, almost like truffles and mushrooms, but gentler and sweeter. And I don't actually really like mushrooms or truffles, but I really like this. Those are the associations my brain is making for something a little unfamiliar. But it is like the char and salt that you have when you grill something. Have you ever had a grilled piece? It's the closest I can say. And the vineyards were at the elevation of like 600, and the other one 800. It was really cool. It's the producers of this wine, I can't remember the name. It's a husband, it's a partner on the internet, but they have the same last name, so husband-wife partnership. And then the 2 vineyards that this comes from seem really lovely as well. My computer's there and it tells me things. I usually like to drink the wine and be like, okay, tell me about your things. actually amazed by it. I want to keep drinking and explore it more. It's one of those wines that just keeps building and learning. To me, wines have songs. Beautiful. Okay, so things about the wine. So one of them is from 2 producers. And then from what I read, 2 growers, 2 different vineyards. The producers are the Jolie-Laude. Oh, and it's very interesting. They talk about how part of doing art with the bottles is that each year it's all going to be different, you know, it changes. And this art is by Sarah Jarrett. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's Sarah with an H and then Jarrett. It's just beautiful. When I first picked up this bottle, my hairs on my arms stood up. Feeling that something is alive and just speaking to you. And that's what I love in so many ways about natural wine is it has a voice, it has a passion, it has personality. I smile when somebody doesn't like a wine because I work at a natural wine bar. If someone doesn't like it, that means it had enough personality that there was something not to like. It also means that there's something to love. So one of the vineyards is Soleto Family Vineyards, capturing the history, diversity, and allure of San Benito County wine grape growing. And they've got a picture, which I'm thinking is from the vineyards. I love to look at pictures while drinking the wine. It's like you're talking to it, you're just feeling like you're there. And it's like this adventure, you know, it's been there. And now it's here. And there's a whole adventure this wine has gone through. And it's like you're all connected in that moment. Looking at the pictures though you're there, drinking wine from where it's from. It's an incredible experience. We offer winemakers a selection of 25 varieties of organically farmed, planted in earthquake-shaken gravelly loams along the Tres Pinos Creek in San Benito County. Our vines, which range from 30 to 50 year olds, comprise a unique and eclectic portfolio of varieties. Oh, that's the CCOF certification that they have. It's interesting that it says on earthquake shaking gravelly loams. I feel like I can taste a bit of that. Farming for 40 years. Looks like dad, which I'm guessing this must be generational, founded his business on passion and commitment. Okay, let me go back to the other one because I feel like it had quite a bit more information about them. So the other vineyard is Arnaud Roberts. And then they have a picture of their vineyard as well. But I know I have a couple of their other bottles, and people seem to love it. The Russian River Valley, 800 feet of elevation. Sandy clay loams, fractured sandstone, dotted with quartz and schist. And this is one of the fun things, is once you read about it. Especially soils, it's interesting to really feel like you're tasting them. There's that. Yeah, like where does salty come from? Where does that smell? Where does that feeling of like grounded mineralness? You know, if I grew up around concrete and thatching it, but there just almost seems to be this natural intuition of what limestone tastes like and feels like. I know you like salt crystals and where they come from have different flavors. Ample sun, cooling breezes. And a lot of sun can lead to, you know, a lot of expression in the grapes that they got to ripen and reach the different potentials, but there's so much expression in this wine. And cooling breezes. And about this specific wine, it is the first Aligote from Jolie-Laude. Years in the making. The 2022 Aligote is the first fruit of two vineyards, La Simis and Sileto. Next time I'll look up how to say these things because I'm guessing right now. The Aligote block at Las Simas vineyard sits just under 800 feet in elevation, northern region of the Russian River Valley. The northeast facing slope of this block, combined with the coastal breeze, which can explain some of that saltiness coming through, and fog of the Pacific coast, allow the grapes to maintain a high level of freshness with the perfect amount of sun exposure. The land is composed of complex Franciscan soils, normally unique to the Yorkville Highlands, south of San Francisco in the cool Tunnel Valley of San Benito County. Sileto Family Vineyards is planted on a south-facing slope and alluvial gravelly loam. This organic vineyard lies under 600 feet in elevation. Together, the two vineyards combined allow us to produce an aromatic, bright, and pure expression of Aligote. The wine has an oceanic salinity and a sense of restraint that relaxes and expresses itself fully after some time opening the bottle. It's gonna keep expressing itself, that's amazing. The Aligote grapes are whole cluster pressed, which means it's going to have the stems along with the grapes. Then fermented and aged in concrete eggs, which I feel like that flavor comes through, and neutral puncheons, I don't know how to say that, but wooden barrels. Only native yeast is used to complete primary and malolactic fermentation, which means yeast native to that area, which helps, or is the sparking of the fermentation. Floral and elegant, vibrant and fresh. Forel, pear, and green apple acidity. I agree with that. White flowers with an abundance of wet rock minerality. I agree with all of those words. And then something that combines in all of those flavors and sensations and memories in my own life spicy yet fresh, aromatic umami. And it's beautiful, and I look forward to drinking the rest of this bottle. Thank you for being with me on the journey.